So in 92, I mean, you had been long retired, but post 92, 93, you took the kind of very radical step along with other senior police officers who had retired and citizens of Bombay. And you set up the Bombay Mohalla Committee Trust. I mean, the entire movement was dedicated to prevent violence, to encourage a dialogue between the citizenry and the police. How successful has that been?
Look, 92, 93, I was not here. I was in Romania. When I used to read about this, and I felt sorry for my city. No, this is a city where I was born, my father was born, my grandmother was born, my great-grandfather came from Goa and settled. So I am a Bombayite for all practical purpose. Only the roots are in Goa. So I said, how can this happen in the city? How can they go on killing each other like this? So when I came back, I met Mr. Khorakiwala, who was then the sheriff in 92. He had started this Mohalla committee on the basis of what Khopde had done in this. So he told me, will you take it over, because I can't, I'm old and this. And I said, yeah. I said, I will. And then I went met Sushoba Barve. She was I would not be able to do what
she was a prime mover.
Sushoba she did all the legwork. All the people who are now with us were all brought in by Sushoba. She chose the correct people, the people who were really interested in peace and harmony, who had no biases about any community, and both Hindus and Muslims, she brought them in. And then what my part of it was to get the police on board. And fortunately, Satish Sani was the commissioner at that time, and he was totally with us. So that is how the whole Mohalla Committee movement started. Now, how far has it succeeded? Has it succeeded in making people more friendly, Hindus and Muslims? I don't think so. That is still, I doubt. I think that under the surface, there is always that something that will ignite. Because any people can be, those biases still remain. But we have been trying. At least in those areas where there was riots.
What do you feel is actually preventing this? Is it certain kind of politics, or is it something in our social structure, social fabric?
Mainly politics, because after all, electoral politics, if it depends on votes, and you get Muslim votes or Hindu votes or this caste vote or that caste vote, you are in trouble. What I would think, if you want to address this problem, this is my view, is to change the whole electoral system and, not first past the post. It should be the first two who don't get 50%. If anybody gets over 50%, fair enough, he or she is elected. They don't, let the first two face off. They'll be forced to go to other communities. They will not be able to indulge in this kind of politics. We have been advocating this, but I don't know.
So certain kind of majoritarianism and minority communalism has crept in through the political structures, you feel?
Of course it has. It has been there for a long time, and religion is always used for political purpose from time immemorial. Ever since history
is this also a real problem in the police, among the police? Because Bombay police...
there are after all, they come from the community. They don't come from some other planet. They are from here. And they have been brought up there and in this same city. And after all, the lower levels of the police, who are 95% of the force, and even the little higher, what we call the
constabulary.
No, constabulary is 95%. But their little supervisors, their immediate supervisors, inspectors and sub-inspectors, even they, in the past, they used to come from a different class of people, shall we say, if I use the word. But now it's not like that. There's more egalitarian.
So you feel that this communal bias is
is quite.
What should be done to address communal bias in the police force?
Any uniform force, whether it is army or the police, there is structured, indoctrination. That is, you follow a command. Now, if the leaders give a command, it will be followed, even whatever biases you have. Go and get into it, they would get into it. I have commanded this, and whenever I've commanded and ordered certain things to be done, it was done. For example, during
So do you think the problem is the leadership in the force?
leadership in the force, that is where we should really indoctrinate them. And if that leadership is committed to real egalitarian and no discrimination between communities on basis of religion or caste, if they are, and most of them are, but a few persons are not.